How's it going, guys? My name is Scrublord, and today we're going to build a Town Hall 9 warbase together. If you want to see more warbase building videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Here we are in the village editor mode, and let's get right to it. So we're going to be building an anti-3-star warbase today. And what that means is the town hall is going to be outside of the walls. We're not going to have it inside the walls like you normally have it on a home base. It's going to be outside because it's not a defense. And for war, what we want to do is defend against the 3-star. And the town hall doesn't do anything to fight back until town hall level 12. So anything below that, you don't need the town hall inside the walls for a warbase. Now, the very first thing I do when I build my warbase is I take my clan castle and I put it right here on this spot. That's the very center of the village. I put the clan castle somewhere on this spot to know that my clan castle is fully centered. In some bases, the clan castle will go closer to the town hall. In other builds, it goes further away. It really depends on where you want to defend it, but I want my clan castle to defend anywhere that an enemy force comes in from. So that's why we put it in the middle. And the very next thing we want to do is determine where our town hall is going to be placed. It's very important to have an idea of where you're going to place your town hall first, because then you can build around that idea. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have our town hall somewhere over here in this area. It can be moved later, but for now, I know that my town hall will be on this side of my base, so I can build around that. After that, I want to place my queen altar, because the queen is a very good defense, especially in a war base, because she's good for taking out loons, she's good for taking out hogs, and just being a nuisance to the enemy army. So we need to know where she's going to go, because she's one of our most valuable assets in a war base. So what I'm going to do is, for this base, I'm going to place my queen right here next to my clan castle. So she's well defended by the clan castle, number one, and number two, she's away from the town hall. So if the enemy comes in with like a queen charge and wants to take out my queen because she's coming in with Lalo, or they're coming in with hogs, then they have to come away from the town hall to take out the queen in order to do their attack. And even if they take out the queen, but they fail the attack, they may only end up with the 1-star. If you put her closer to the town hall, then they get a lot of value by taking out both the town hall and the queen. So I'm going to put her away from that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a bomb tower down right here next to my queen, so they can't pick her off along with the clan castle with mass skelly spells. Because skelly bomb is a thing. If you don't know, you drop a bunch of skelly spells with the rage on an enemy queen in clan castle and take it out before the attack even starts. So we're going to put this bomb tower here to ensure that that doesn't happen. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this in with our lowest level walls, because we want our high level walls on the outside of our base to defend against wall breakers and stuff like that. So we've got our first compartment. After that, I like to think of my expos. So where are we going to place our expos? For this build, I'm going to go ahead and place an expo right about here, 2 spaces away from this wall, and I'm going to build a wall around it that's 2 spaces away from the expo. And that gives the expo its own nice little compartment. So it's going to be hard for the enemy to come through and take out this expo from the outside. And for the other expo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over here next to the clan castle, and I'm going to encase this in many layers of walls with other defenses, so it's really hard for them to get to this expo. So we're going to place that expo there, and we're going to close off a compartment about the same size as this one. So we're going to place that down with, we're going to use an archer tower. And then we're going to go ahead and put a sweeper in. Oh, say right about there, pointing this way. And we're going to go ahead and close this off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another compartment over here, about 5 paces long. Got the walls there. Higher level walls up. We're going to make another compartment there, and I'm going to place a wizard tower here away from this other piece of splash damage, and I'm going to place a cannon here, and we're going to have them, the cannon's going to be closer here to the clan castle, and the wizard tower is going to be further away. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 spaces here, and I'm going to bring it all the way down and close this off. What this does, and I'm going to put another piece, say, right here. What this does is this creates dead space. So anything I have over here, say if P.E.K.K.A.s are coming through, the P.E.K.K.A.s aren't going to go through this dead space unless they, like, quake it out or something. So this dead space ensures that enemy troops will walk around, and they have to come this way and this way. So my next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing here, but just for this spot right here. Come on, you can do it. And what this does is this creates enough space between this outer wall and this expo that an enemy queen can't shoot over this wall to this expo. So as you can see, here's the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 spaces between this wall and this expo. And since this expo is on that 5th space away, the queen can't shoot it. A queen can shoot up to 4 spaces back, but any defenses that are an extra space back, the queen can't shoot over. So this expo is protected from the queen over here on this wall. And then I'm going to go ahead and place an air defense and a cannon here and close this off right here. Also, this corner, as you can see, here's this corner space. We've got 2 spaces between this corner space, this corner wall, and the expo. The queen can't shoot 2 spaces in a corner over the wall to the expo. So expos and inferno towers in compartments like this, from the corners, they can't be shot by the enemy queen. So it's protected on basically all sides. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, only I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to continue this size compartment here. And I'm going to place an archer tower here. And I'm going to place another wizard tower here. And this wizard tower is out of the range of this air defense. So that's good for like lava hound pathing. So the wizard tower is going to be pretty far away. You want your splash damage outside of the range of your air defenses for the most part. So we've got that covered. So we've got a nice little core. Let's go ahead and check our clan castle. What we want is we want to make sure there are defenses along this entire ring here at the edge of the ring, so our clan castle isn't easily pulled. They have to get into our base in order to pull our clan castle. So I'm going to continue working this way. So I'm going to go ahead and build off of this wall. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my other sweeper here and point it back the other way. So this sweeper is covering this side, and this sweeper will be covering this side. I may end up changing them to this way and this way, depending on how I finish out the space. But I'm going to build up from here. So I'm going to go ahead and place a cannon here. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to take a gold storage and place it 1 space away from that cannon. And we're going to go ahead and box that in. And then we're going to do basically the same thing. Let's move this town hall. And then we're going to do basically the same thing here. Only we're going to have an air defense right here. We're going to place an archer tower here. Now you may be wondering, why do I have an air defense? My air defense is so far to the outside. Air defenses always don't have to be tucked into the base. I'm going to have some air defenses that are hard to hit, but these air defenses off to the side are good for if they come in with dragons. The air defense will be able to start picking off the dragons as they're taking out the trash buildings off the sides. And also here, this air defense is going to be protecting this town hall. So if they want to come in with their queen charge or whatever towards the town hall, they have to place their healers outside of this radius. So this air defense is protecting this entire space here. So we're good right there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this wall, I'm going to bring it down, I'm going to block this in. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this wizard tower and I'm going to move it, and I'm going to place an air defense in here. Now, I know this air defense is covering these two, but that is okay. You can't have your air defenses... You want to keep them pretty far away, but you can't have them completely out of the range of your wizard towers. I want to place this air defense here, and this air defense is pretty protected. If I make another section here, this air defense is hard to reach. So then I'm going to take another archer tower, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this archer tower here with 2 spaces between this archer tower and this wizard tower for possible giant bomb locations. And I'm going to start making some of those giant bomb locations. Like, maybe I should have over here with 2 spaces. I might actually go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this town hall. And it's okay when you're building your base to just make changes on the fly like this, because as you're building it, you have to think about what you wanted, all the things that you can defend against. So this shows with these two, all these 2 spaces, there can be giant bombs here in the center. Also, what I like about outside air defenses is outside air defenses are good against Witch Slap. The healers, if they're using the healer version of Witch Slap against a base like this, and they bring their healers into the range of those air defenses, then the healers are going to get shredded, and so the flanking witches are going to get shredded, and it's likely that their attack will fall apart. We got a nice big spot here. Let us start working down this way. We've got about 62 walls left. So where do I want my last air defense to go? I've got one here, here, and here. I can probably put one like down here somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually going to bring it up here. Nice and on the corner. I'm going to place a cannon. Kind of cat a corner like that. And now we are finished off there. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a wizard tower about right here. And another archer tower, only I'm going to use 2 spaces here. And we're just going to finish closing off this spot. So we're completely covered here with our clan castle all along this flank. We've got a nice pathing around this expo, and if I place like a mortar, say here, then any hogs or something will come through here to the mortar around and completely miss this expo. So we have this spot basically over here to finish filling in. So we're going to go ahead and fill that in. Maybe I'll bring some compartments here and here. So let's go ahead and get that last wizard tower down. And let's just kind of fill this space in. Here, we probably don't have enough walls. Do not have enough walls. How many walls are we missing? We are missing 3 walls. So go ahead and remove that. Bring that down. That over. That over. Boom. And we are done here. We are finished with that. So this wizard tower, I kind of want it to be off on its own. And the good thing about this wizard tower is there's 2 spaces between the outer walls and this wizard tower. And if the enemy is coming in with wizards, the wizards cannot hit this wizard tower. Wizards can only hit buildings that are 1 space, like this archer tower right here. A wizard can hit this archer tower, but 2 spaces deep into the wall, and wizards cannot hit. So we're going to do that there. And then I'm going to place an archer tower here. And a cannon sort of forward here. And that looks like a pretty good setup for our defenses. We do have this line here that needs to be covered. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a mortar and we're going to place it here 2 spaces away because we could probably put like a giant bomb there. Actually, I want to do it this way. We can put the giant bomb towards the cannon. And then we still have 2 mortars. We have our king's compartment. I forgot about that. What can we do with our king? Maybe I want to put him over here, like where this archer tower is, so he can help protect the town hall. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and remove the archer tower. I'm going to throw the king down here. I'm actually going to move this town hall, say, right here. So the king will protect this town hall. And this archer tower, we can go ahead and probably throw this archer tower over here somewhere to continue help protecting the town hall. All of your defenses don't have to be inside the walls. It's actually good to have some defenses outside of your walls for hog pathing or balloon pathing to just mess that pathing up. It's really good to do it that way. So we have 2 mortars left, and I just kind of like to put the mortars in corners or near air defenses and stuff to kind of help protect those against maybe some balloons coming out. And then we have our Teslas left. I like to make Tesla farms. Other people, you know, you could put, you know, like a Tesla here and stuff, but the thing about a Tesla being here is it could create pathing for hogs to come in towards this expo. So what I like to do is I like to defend the town hall with Teslas usually. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 Tesla here, and I'm going to put another Tesla here. I'm actually going to move this archer tower over and move this Tesla over 1 space so I can maybe fit a giant bomb in behind there. So we've got the 2 Teslas there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 here and 1 like right here. So we've got these Teslas, this air defense, this archer tower, our king, almost this archer tower, all protecting our town hall. So if they come after our town hall, there's going to be a lot of fire on them. And then, of course, we have all our storages left. But the next thing we want to do is look at our traps. Because we've built this base. Get out of there, army camp. We've built this base with certain things in mind. So our queen's over here. She's protected by these walls. She's not going to really step outside of the walls. Her, as you can see, her ring of her area of effect where she's going to defend, she might step up forward over here, but she's never going to go outside of the outer walls to defend, which is what we want. And then trying to come into the queen's compartment, say from over here, we've got this archer tower, we've got this expo, we've got this expo, we've got this bomb tower, these cannons, all beating down on the enemies while they're trying to take out our queen. And then we've got this dead space here. We've got this dead space here to mess up pathing. So let's think about it. So I was already thinking about having a giant bomb out here between this cannon and this mortar. And what this does is this can mess up heal placements for enemies. Say they were going to throw a heal down here. Well, now that this giant bomb has gone off, they might have to throw their heal down a little bit earlier. It's also really good for witches. Giant bombs outside of the base are really good against witches because the witches will step into the giant bombs, they'll blow up, they're under fire, and they'll get taken out. And I also know that I want to put a giant bomb here because I just like having giant bombs tucked between 2 Teslas because enemies will pass through it, and say wizards are coming through that spot trying to take out the king's altar, the giant bomb's going to take them out. And since we have all this space inside for possible giant bomb locations, what I'm going to do is I don't really like putting giant bombs near heavy splash damage because they're already going to put heals down near that splash damage if they're using hogs or something. So I like to just give the illusion of giant bombs near that. And what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to put 1 here next to... No, I actually want to spring trap that. I might put 1 right here. and this will still trigger against enemy hogs or something. This will still trigger inside here because they'll path like from here to here, and the giant bomb will still explode. And then my last giant bomb, because I like having one in the base, but I kind of actually like having most of my giant bombs outside of my base. I'm gonna put the last one right here for this mortar and this cannon. So that's the giant bombs. Let's think about spring traps. Spring traps are for hogs, right? So where are they going to come in with their hogs? We know the queen charge or the kill squad is going to be coming at the queen, right? So having a spring trap like right here isn't really a good idea because their kill squad's going to come through or their queen's going to come through, trigger the trap, nothing's going to happen. So what we want to do is have our spring traps more further away from the queen. So we've got a good spot over here to go ahead and put a spring trap, and that can catch at least 2 hogs right there. This spot right here is great for a spring trap because these defenses are kind of catacorner to each other, so that gives less area for the hogs to actually go between them, and that means that you're more likely to get 3 hogs with your spring trap. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Spring trap, spring trap. I kind of want to do a double spring trap here, but my thought is if the hogs are going to path around, once they get here, they might come to this spot and then over here. But if hogs do come into this spot, I would like to have a double spring trap here. Just so any hogs that come this way will get sprung, any hogs that come this way will get sprung. And my last spring trap is going to be right here at these 2 Teslas in front, because if you put it here, troops are less likely to actually path right there. It's better to put it here 1 space outside of it. And that's good for, of course, hogs. It's good for if the Barbarian King comes in and uses his ability. A lot of those Barbarians are going to get sprung out. So we've got our spring trap placements done. Next is our air bombs. They're good, of course, near splash damage, near your wizard towers, but you kind of don't want them near wizard towers that are inside air defenses. So like these 2 wizard towers, we don't really want to put our air bombs on. But another place I like to put my air bombs are over here near the Teslas, because the Teslas will pop up if they're dropping loons and really mess with the loons, and those air bombs will deal a lot of damage to the loons and groups, and all those Teslas nearby clumped up together will really take them out really fast. And then so the next one I'm going to do is I will put one kind of over here between these 2. Not too close. I don't want too many because a queen charge with Lalo will come through this spot, but this red air bomb can hit enemy healers as well. And then I'm going to actually place one over here next to this Expo, and I'm going to place one definitely over here between these 2 defenses, because this wizard tower is kind of susceptible to loons being dropped on it. So that is one thing, but the Expo can shoot them as they're coming. This archer tower will shoot them, and so will this one. So having the air bomb here being protecting the wizard tower, its splash damage plus this splash damage, and these units these defenses raining down on them will help take out those balloons. Also, as a note, always have your Expos set to air and ground. There's really no point in having ground Expos. The meta in Town Hall 12 and 13 kind of calls for ground Expos because of the Yetis, but here at Town Hall 9, you want air and ground, because if you've got just ground Expos and they come in with a Lalo, you're going to get destroyed. And the next is our black mines. Now, black mines are good for picking off healers, and they're good for taking out lava hounds. Where do we place them? Well, we know that we've got this base designed to where we want our opponent to queen charge from this side, or say this side, and come in and take out the queen if they're going to be using a queen charge, hogs, or Lalo. So we know that that's likely to happen, so we want to get some seeking air mines kind of near we definitely want them near our air defenses, but we want them in locations that can possibly take out enemy queen healers. So I'm going to put 2 seeking air mines out here in this area to help pick off healers if they queen charge from this side. And then my other 2 Seeking Air Mines, I'm going to go ahead and get one right over here next to this air defense, because this air defense is going to be harder for them to pick off with a queen charge. Let's see. This might actually be able to be hit by a queen, but we'll see. I'm not entirely certain if it can be hit by a queen because of the corner spots. Either way, queens will probably most likely come out this way, or if they're going to try and pick off an air defense, it'll likely be this one or this one if they're doing like a Sui hero. And then my last air bomb, or my last Seeking Air Mine, I'm going to put out here next to this air defense, not in range of this red air bomb, but if a Lava Hound comes out towards this air defense, then this Seeking Air Mine will go after it. And then we've got our Skelly traps. I like to put them near my Expos, is kind of a good spot, but also just in a general area that's good to defend everything. You can put them to air or ground. It really depends on what you get hit by the most. If you get hit by hogs more, set them to ground. If you get hit by Lalo more or dragons more, set them to air. It's as simple as that. And then our bombs are going to come after our trash buildings. But here at Town Hall 9, I would say like Town Hall 7 and above, your small bombs are mostly used to kill wall breakers. And the idea of where our wall breakers are going to come from, like I said, this base is set up this way for them to come in from the queen side. So we're probably going to set our bombs up over here in strategic locations to help try and pick off wall breakers. So the next thing is our storages and our trash buildings. Only a few of our storages can go inside, but mostly it's defenses in the core of the base. So our storages are going to be used to slow down enemy attacks. Over here near the town hall is definitely a great place to place some storages, like in front of those Teslas, in front of this archer tower. Can I get one in front of the town? I can't. That's unfortunate. So I'll just go ahead and place a builder hut, 2 builder huts in front of this town hall just to close off the space. And these storages are very good to just slow down the enemy attack. If they want to come in from this side, they're going to have to take out these storages. And in order to take out these storages, it's going to take them some time investment. So we're going to put some over there, and then we're also going to put some over here. Say, get one over here in front of this wizard tower. We're definitely going to get one over here, and we'll get one, say, over here. And that'll just slow down the enemy queen, it'll slow down their kill squad, and everything like that. This one. Alright, so our storages are set up. So with our storages set up, we can go ahead and start dropping some of our bombs. I'm going to put a bomb right here kind of at this corner, and then just kind of throw a trash building over here. This way, if the building is still up, a wall breaker can't go through it, and they usually try to path around them anyway. So a wall breaker will path around here and go towards this corner. And wall breakers attack, yes, they go after walls, but they attack buildings. So a wall breaker, even if you set a wall breaker right here, it's going to go towards this wall and not this wall, because this air defense is closer than this wizard tower, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and set that bomb up to defend there, and this one here. 2 spaces away from the wall is optimal placement for bombs, because it gives time. The blast radius of the bombs is bigger than the trigger radius, so the trigger radius here, but the blast radius gets all the way to the wall. And that works for, say, the wall breakers are raged up. This bomb 2 spaces away from the wall will still kill the wall breaker before it's able to take out the wall. We're going to do the same thing here. Spaces. 2 spaces. We're going to put another dark barracks. And 1, 2 spaces. So all our bombs are over here defending this spot of the wall for if they come in. Now, this is assuming the opponent comes in from this side. If you use this base and they come in mainly from, say, this side, then you definitely want to move these traps over to this side, and maybe some of these storages over to this side. you really, when you're initially building your base, you just have to think, where would I attack this base from if I were going to attack it when you're building it? So you do that and you think, how would I attack this base? Okay, now how should I defend against that attack? And at this point, it's just trash buildings, and people think that the trash buildings aren't very important. You can just place them anywhere, but placement of the way you place your trash buildings can be very important, because it can really mess up pathing for enemy heroes and stuff. So say you've got a couple buildings clustered together, you know, the enemy hero or the enemy king may be trying to funnel this side out, and if this army camp isn't here, and say this dark spell factory were here and this dark elixir drill were here, and the enemy places his king here but wants it to take out this mortar, well, he's going to go from the dark elixir drill to the spell factory to this elixir storage, and he's going to continue walking this way and not take out this mortar. So placing your trash buildings in a way to think about, how can I mess up an enemy funnel, is the best way to place down all your trash buildings. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this gold mine right in front. I'm going to set this one off to the side. This elixir collector can come forward, and this just kind of, having them offset like this, just kind of, like I said, it messes with pathing, and it can really screw up where their troops go. P.E.K.K.A.s can walk because of it. Even the queen can walk because of the way you set up your trash buildings. Place that in front of it, and then we go ahead and place an army camp right next to it. And then I'm going to place an elixir collector just a little bit further away from that, but my next one is just going to be right up against the wall and right next to it. And when you're placing your trash buildings, it's important to leave 2 space gaps in places. Like right here, this one doesn't really have it, but I could say move this forward and move this forward, and then I could move this dark elixir storage forward. And what that does is that makes it look like there could be Teslas there, because a Tesla takes up a 2x2 square. So if you've got these spots outside your walls that are 2 spaces away from the walls, your opponent will never know where your Teslas are going to be. So don't just put them 1 space away from the wall. You definitely want to put them, some of them, 2 spaces away from the wall to feign Tesla locations. That gold mine there. I'm just going to kind of surround this mortar with gold mines, because the mortar, yeah, it's not it doesn't do much at Town Hall 9, but having it protected by the gold mines against enemy wizards, the wizards are going to have to take out this gold mine while the mortar's beating down on them and taking their HP down. And I'm going to have a barracks kind of like this, and then another one set up over here, just to, like I said, mess with pathing, make their funnels awkward. Got this barracks down here. Spell factory, I'm going to put 2 spaces away from this mortar. A barracks right next to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this army camp over here. Gold mine like this. Another gold mine in front. Can I fit you here? No, I can't fit you here. I'm going to place this like this. I'm just making like a 3-piece path here. And finally, our last elixir collector right here. Just kind of making it really annoying for our opponents. And for our final army camp, I'm going to go ahead and place this one in the corner. And then I'm going to corner hut over here in this corner. And what corner huts do and corner buildings, come on, go in the corner. What corner huts and corner buildings do is they can cause time fails because your opponent didn't think about them, and so they didn't set anything down to take this out. And say this builder hut is still up and they're on this side of the base wiping it out, and they're at 99%, but they only have 15 seconds left in their attack. They're not going to make it all the way back to this builder's hut by the time that 15 seconds elapse, and that will cause a time fail. Troll Teslas out on the corner and on the sides of the base are also really good. Those definitely really mess with attacks as well. And the last thing I do is drop the American flag up here in the top of the base. And that's a good idea for a Town Hall 9 war base. So let's go over it. Our clan castle is well defended. It's not going to be easily pulled. Even if they drop like a hog here, well then let's go ahead and move this mortar over and forward. Of course it did. Even if they try to drop a hog like over here, it's going to go towards this cannon, or it's going to go towards this mortar if they drop it over here. And that's why I've got it set up that way. So this isn't easily pulled from any location on any side. And if they come from this side, it's closer to the edge over here, so they'll have to engage the clan castle about here while all these defenses are shooting on them. Now let's look at our sweepers. I think it's better to have our sweepers pointing this way and maybe this way, because if they come in with a queen charge down from this side, having this sweeper, I think like that, having the sweeper pointed this way is going to push the healers back and make it harder for them to heal the queen. We've got our black air mines over here, hoping to pick off some healers. Over here we've got our king, our Tesla farm, defending our town hall. Our town hall is away from our archer queen. It's outside of the wall. We have a nice spread of our defenses. We've got corner huts to really make issues for our enemy if they don't clear those out. We have 2 spaces in between some buildings to feign giant bomb locations. So there's a lot of spots where the opponent may think that there's giant bombs that there may not be. Our spring traps are away from our queen, or away from where we think they would charge in to take out our queen. So if they charge in and take out our queen and our clan castle, and then turn around and throw in their hogs, the hogs will be able to hit all these spring traps. They'll all still be up for them. And I think this is a pretty decent base. I spent some time sitting here and making it, thinking about it really hard. Now, it hasn't been tested. I always recommend you go in and test your bases. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave, if you want to use this base or test it out, I'll leave a link to be able to copy this base layout in the description of the video. If you want to try it out, let me know how it works for you. If you made any tweaks to it, where you get attacked from the most. And I hope that you guys learned something from this, and as I explain my thought process on how I build bases. A war base is much different from a home base. You're not trying to protect your resources or anything like that. You're really just trying to defend with a war base. So it's very important to have those weird compartments and that dead space, and really think about how you're placing everything to get the maximum effectiveness out of your defenses, and really trip up your opponent and make them confused and wonder, where should I hit this base? Or, oh, I didn't realize that there was going to be, a double spring trap there next to the expo, or anything like that. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I love making bases. I can spend hours just sitting down and making base after base after base. I build for my clan. I make bases and share them to our Discord server, so anybody can come in and take a new base if they go to a new town hall level, or just they're sick of their base and they're ready to get one. But I really want to share the way that I think about building bases, so maybe you guys can start building your own bases and get a grasp of how the process goes, because the better you are at building bases, then the better you are at analyzing enemy bases and seeing where traps could be and seeing where the most effective way to hit it is. And it really makes attacking a lot easier, or at least planning your attacking a lot easier when you know how to build bases and what goes into building a good base. You can tell off the bat, oh, that's a crappy base, or wow, this looks like a really good base. I need to sit here and really analyze it to get a good idea of how it's going to go. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications for every upload that I make, and leave a comment down below telling me what you think and how you like the base. Thank you so much for watching, guys.